Hey there, folks. This is girls soccer reporter Kurt Bopp. I'm joined by girls soccer reporter Jeffrey Kauffman. We're here to break down Friday's District 3 finals between number 1 Cumberland Valley, number 2 Redland. Jeff, before we get to that, just want to talk a little bit about Carlisle, Northern, and Mechanicsburg, who are area teams who qualified for the state tournament. Carlisle in dramatic fashion yesterday, and Northern beating Cedar Cliff, which in my mind was an upset. But Northern's been rolling all year. First off, Jeff, what are your thoughts on those three teams?
First of all, Northern, I think, has been a little bit under the radar all year.
Definitely.
They've played very well against certain teams. They've had some injuries they've dealt with. Mindy Smith does a great job with them. They get two top-notch players in Lauren Berry, Olivia Snare. They can be dangerous to any team, any night.
Definitely, and I think coming out of the Colonial, I think,
people overrated them a little bit.
Definitely. I think they caught some teams off guard. Obviously, Mechanicsburg, kind of the last 2 weeks of the regular season, struggled a little bit. Obviously they got together in districts and did okay. I mean, taking Redland to penalty kicks, that was incredible.
That's a big rivalry. Mechanicsburg-Redland is a huge rivalry. The kids will get up for that. Tony Lugi's done a really nice job with that group and has dealt with not serious injuries, but just enough nicks and bruises that he hasn't really fielded the same team all year. I think as long as they're playing, as long as Holly Brigard is healthy, and as long as Natalie Zelenki's healthy, they can play with any team in the state. Zelenki may be the best player in the area and probably the most dangerous player in the area.
Yeah, I agree absolutely, and I think yesterday was they did a great job of starting off fast, 2 goals within the first 10 minutes, and they hung with them the whole game. I mean, outstanding team. And then Carlisle, which I won't lie, it was one of the most exciting things I've ever seen live, sporting events. Kirsten Skolsky scoring with less than 4 minutes to play, winning in penalty kicks, and they told me it was to keep Clippinger around at least one more game, to keep the season going. He was telling me, he loves this group. He said all year. Carlisle making it to states, it's almost a storybook. What do you think of that?
Having played with Clip when I was in school, Clip's a great coach. Clip's a great person, a great motivator of kids. He's got a good mix of freshmen, very solid players, with a core of seniors that are just great leaders. Becky Hoy, Maddie Bresci. You lose the kids you lose with Alyssa Rao going down for the season. That's a key factor. But anytime you can start 5 freshmen and have this group in the mix, they're also a very dangerous team.
Absolutely. And we'll have another video, previewing states when that comes around, when everything's all settled. But let's get to the main event. Cumberland Valley, Redland, they played twice so far this season, obviously 2 Commonwealth teams. First one, 2-1, double overtime. Bryce Watts, perfect goal. And then the second one, 1-0, corner kick. I believe it was Jess Pink who knocked it in there. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be fantastic. First, let's take a look. Cumberland Valley, kind of how'd they get here? What is it about this team? It's a very different team from last year.
This is a team that really the first few games struggled to find the players in the right positions. Anytime you lose a player of the caliber of a Cassie Peck who decided to play club ball this year, that changes the dynamics of your team. Throw in a couple injuries. Emily Mitchell right from the get-go. Amanda McKee right from the get-go. Those are 2 key players from last year's state title team. You lost 4 or 5 seniors. Kids, Seth had to move some kids around, and they're playing different positions. But again, Cumberland Valley has the size program that he's probably cut more kids that would start on other teams. They're just at the level of that team, they just weren't at that level. You got Savannah Hall. Elise Krause is probably one of the best wing players in the league. As a scorer, forward, being able to now step back, play defense this year, or over the past couple of weeks. This is a team that gave up 6 goals in their first 4 games, including 3 to Cedar Cliff and a 3-2 loss. Since that time, they've run off 18 wins in a row. They have only given up 4 goals in that period of time. They're going to be very dangerous. They play defense. They know what they have to do. They have the experience. Redland on the other hand, has probably as much experience coming back as Cumberland Valley does. I see two very evenly matched teams. Each team scored 66 goals this year. Cumberland Valley gave up 10, Redland gave up 15. Redland has had to replace a goalie. When Rachel Skonecki went down, Rachel Fox has stepped in.
Very nicely.
Her confidence level is high right now. Their team level is high. You bring Brinley Watts over from Trinity to play with her freshman sister, who may be one of the best players to ever come out of this area until she's done playing. Add in some experience of Aaron Drzinski, Kaylee Horner, who's a very solid player. Redland's a good team. I see a very low-scoring game. One goal might win it.
Absolutely. And the other thing is ultimately Watts being a freshman. CV, ultimately, what's kind of helped or energize them or really turn them around is freshmen that, you and I talked about all basketball season. Taylor Schneidman, Molly Stanton, Jen Falconer, and with help from others, Delaney Lewis, freshman. The fact is, they got a lot of young players, so they're going to be good for a while. And then, of course, you got Bryce Watts, freshman. So, I mean, it's going to be fun to watch them, over the next 4 years as their careers go on. And like you said, and I love, Redland's defense. I'm a huge fan. I've seen them struggle a couple games, but for the most part, I like how they gel. I like how they work with Brinley, Aaron, Zena. They've actually had Kaylee Harner play back there some. But for the most part, they've just done a great job. I agree. I think it's going to be low scoring like the other two games it's been. I was talking with the coaches today, and they kind of expect that. These defenses are good. They got great offenses, great attacks, but I think it's going to be physical too. It's going to be fun. What do you expect? What are some things we should watch for? I'm not going to make you make a prediction because I don't know if I can make a prediction. I have before. Kind of, it is what it is. What should we watch for? We'll settle for that.
Well, I think for Cumberland Valley, the key are the three freshmen that play up top with Taylor, Schneidman, and Falconer. Molly Stanton's going to be in a key position. I think it's also going to be interesting which Cumberland Valley kids are actually healthy to play at this point. They've been battling some illnesses. They've been battling nicks and bruises as well. I don't know that Seth has had the same starting lineup. I honestly think the key player in this game is Danny Shamball. Danny has played exceptionally well. She was the difference in the Cedar Cliff game last week. She came up with 3 breakaway saves. Maggie Furtado, the assistant coach at Cumberland Valley, goalie coach. We talked a long time after the game about Danny and how her confidence is high, and that goalies just need to make a big play here and there. She made them that day. She's made them the entire season since Seth made that switch to her as a full-time keeper. Right. She will be the key.
Definitely. I mean, I expect, her. And then on the flip side, Rachel Fox, whose best game I've seen was actually against Cumberland Valley in that second game. I think it's going to be low scoring. Like I said, won't be making predictions, won't be seeing that here. But there's definitely some things to watch. Thank you for watching. Like I said, we will be having a blog up. Go to cumberland.com to check that out. And check out Jeff's story, and I'll have at least a story, follow-up, we'll see. We'll have something up there. But thank you. Always stay tuned to cumberland.com or like us on the Sentinel Sports on Facebook. Again, I'm Kurt. This is Jeff. Thanks for watching.